Today on Templar's Tabletop, we look at a great way to grow your RPG collection affordably. What are we talking about today? That is game bundles. Game bundles are a way to download a group of RPG PDFs all together, typically for a reduced cost. And here on Templar's Tabletop, where our goal is to make your RPGs AAA, affordable, approachable, and awesome, this is a great way to check that affordability box. Let's take a look at this bundle in question, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the topic at large. So this bundle is called the Roll Big or Go Home Mega Bundle. It's hosted on the website Humble Bundle, which is known a lot for the video game bundles that it does, but let's take a look at the contents of this one today and talk a little bit about it. So if you can see here on the website, as I mentioned, you can pay for the price of $40, you can get a 57 item bundle. Now you may say, Templar, is this just a bunch of junk, a bunch of no-name stuff? No, a lot of these games are actually heavy hitters in the indie RPG space, which is that a misnomer because any indie RPGs heavy hitters? Yes, they are, because they're really cool, and you're going to take a look at some of them right now. First of all, we've got Avatar Legends, so if you're a fan of that TV show, that might be a good one for you. Transformers, Robots in Disguise, very nice. Cyberpunk Red, Warhammer Fantasy, Dishonored, based on the video game franchise. If you're in the ttrpg space, you might be familiar with the Wild Sea, as the very popular and new channel Quinn's Quest did a video that was a comprehensive review on that. And so, this is a great example. You might not have ever checked out the Wild Sea individually, but if it's a part of a bundle, you might pull the trigger on it. Let's continue. We've got Call of Cthulhu, very famous and popular game. Dragonbane, relatively new up-and-comer, that's a D&D replacement or alternative. Root, looks like it's kind of inspired by Redwall. Some of these I'm familiar, a lot of these I'm familiar with, but some of them I am actually not familiar with. And then there's Slug Blaster, another Quinn's Quest feature, and so on and so forth. And so there's a lot of really cool games here, and there's a lot of them that I've been interested to try out. And as I mentioned, if they were just by their own price, a lot of these products can be, $20, $30, or $40 just on their own. And so if you can get them all for this price of $40, you can really start to get a little bit of an add of value. So let's do a little bit of talking about the subject as a whole. Are these bundles worth it? Now, if we just look at the base value of, as I mentioned, some of these products will go for, $40 by themselves. So if you just go by the amount of content you're getting, absolutely. And again, as I mentioned, these are not small 2 or 3 page games. A lot of these are 200+ page books. And so you're getting a lot of words, if you like this kind of book, for a relatively good cost. But let's do one more comparison as well. Let's take a look at a comparable product, or a product that's maybe more well-known, and look at that. So I'm gonna pull up this. Here's the Humble Bundle, as I said, $40 for 57 items. Let's go over here to the Wizards of the Coast page, the 2024 Player's Handbook, digital and physical bundle. So the most recent version of Dungeons & Dragons, you can pay $60 to get a physical and a digital copy. And so again, if you compare that to the bundle price, the bundle, you're gonna be getting a lot more digital value for that $40. Now, if you vastly prefer D&D and you only ever play D&D, well, obviously you know what the better value is. But if you're someone like me that enjoys the breadth of the hobby and reading these books just kind of as a pastime, the value is absolutely there. So what are some pros and cons of bundles? Well, first off, let's start off with the fact that bundles can be a great value. If the products are good and if they're things that you wouldn't buy individually, but you're interested in as a group, it can be a great value. Number two, you get a nice variety. You might pick up some things that normally you wouldn't have read, but because they're part of the bundle, it makes it something that you'd kind of picked up by surprise or by accident. So bundles can be a great value, and they can also be a great way to get some new exposure. What are some of the downsides of bundles? Well, sometimes in bundles, you're going to be paying for something that you're not actually going to use. There's one on here that I saw that was a horror game, and I don't typically play those kind of games, and so that's just going to sit unused on my shelf. However, if there's enough books that are something that I am interested in, you can just kind of consider that a wash. Number two, and this is maybe specific to me, but maybe there's a few nerds out there that can relate, there's something called bundle mania that I want to talk about. And bundle mania is the fact that often these are such good values sometimes that you can just be like, well, I pretty much have to purchase it. It's like, it's basically, I would be wrong if I didn't. And so even though I have more PDFs than I can ever read because of my bundle proclivities, I want to purchase this right now. And am I going to? Probably. So please send help, and I need to monetize this channel so that we can feed my bundle addiction. But what I mean is that just because this is a stupendous value for what it is, I don't need it. And so just don't let the appeal of the bundle pull you into that dark place of consumerism. I digress. That is not the channel for this. So there's a lot of pros and cons for bundles. But long story short, if you're looking for a way to build up a digital library, bundles can be a great way to go. Now, that begs the question, and that's not the right way to use that term, but I digress. That brings up the question, what is better, purchasing a physical book or getting a collection of digital PDFs on your reader of choice and using that to read your RPG books? So this is a long debated question, but what is better? Books. Books are better objectively. Books, there's only one right answer. And if you think that I'm wrong, let me know in the comments and I will debate you because you are wrong. Now, why are books better? It's because there's no actual strong reasoning why books are better, but if you're in the hobby, books are better. What are the benefits of having something digitally on a PDF to read it? Well, oftentimes it's cheaper, it can be more convenient, it's easier to read at night because you don't need a light, but even with all those positives, it's true, books are better. So the best way to grow your collection is to find those perfect little flea market stores that have got a bunch of discarded RPG books and for only like $5 and pick them up. By the way, that never happens. So if you do that, don't tell anybody about the store, just hoard that. But in lieu of that, in lieu of picking up games, really cheap physical books, I think the next best way is to pick up bundles like this. In addition to sites like Humble Bundle, I just wanted to point out a few other places you might be able to get them. There's a site called the Bundle of Holding, which is specifically for RPG games. Its selection often is a little bit more limited and more indie. However, you can find some good deals on there. Another place that you can go is itch.io. This is primarily a website for indie RPGs, and so these are often going to be quite a bit smaller than things that you might find on Humble. However, you can get typically in bundles like this one, for instance, for Ukrainian hospitals, there was something like 144 games on here for $8. And so if you do a little bit of searching, you can find a lot of PDFs and start to build your collection, in addition to all the free resources, but that is a topic for another video. So as I end this video, let's conclude. What do you think? Are you an RPG bundle enjoyer? Do you share my affliction of bundle addiction? Or is this just something that is a money trap and it's not worth your time? Just go buy 5th edition. Let me know in the comments, and I hope that you guys learned something from this video. So until next time, I hope that your bundles are stupendous and happy gaming.